Pockets are usually on the left side of shirts because most people are right-handed. Is this a myth or a fact? This is actually true. Many products favor the righties. Left-handed people will relate to this on so many levels. Let's say public transport. Have you ever noticed that the scanner at stations is typically on the right side? Household equipment and devices are one more example. Scissors, tweezers, bottle openers, and many other kitchen and household appliances are designed with right-handed people in mind. The same goes for shirt pockets. While some people use both hands equally and others change their hand preference between tasks, overall, most people are right-handed. A study has revealed that 75% to 90% of the world's population are right-handed and 10% are left-handed. This means it's more convenient for most people to have pockets on the left side than on the right side of their garments. Try it out for yourself. Your elbow kind of folds when you try to reach into the pocket on the right side. Whereas on the left side, your elbow makes an arc shape, which makes it easier to put things inside the pocket and take them out. Eating more protein leads to having bigger muscles. What do you think about this, bodybuilders? Myth or fact? This is a myth. It's true that eating protein is essential for building bigger muscles. I mean, proteins are building blocks of your body, and yet, eating more than you need is unnecessary. Everyone should drink 8 glasses of water a day. Do you think this is a myth or a fact? This is a myth, so don't blame yourself for drinking less water than recommended. 8 glasses are not a magic number. Hydration needs differ from one person to another. How much water you should drink every day depends on your activity and exercise level. The temperature of the place where you live affects this number too. If you live in a hot area, you sweat more and need to drink more water. Soup, coffee, tea, fruits, and other things you eat daily also contain water. Carrots are high in sugar, so you should avoid eating them. If this is true, we should warn bunnies. Any guesses? Fact or myth? It's a myth. Carrots are about 85% water. 1 pound of cooked carrots only contains 3 teaspoons of sugar. Compared to the amount of sugar in desserts, this is nothing. Plus, carrots are high in phytochemicals, and eating them can help lower blood sugar. Medieval people believed in flat Earth. Is this a myth or a fact? Obviously, flat Earth is a myth. But so is the history built around this myth. You can't say that at those times. The whole world was skeptical about Earth's spherical shape. Even everyday visible things proved that. For example, medieval people could see that the twilight glow during sunrise and sunset formed an arc over the horizon. Vikings wore horned helmets. Is this a myth or fact? The well-known image of a Viking warrior is almost always completed with a horned helmet, but in reality, there were no horns. There's no evidence that Viking helmets were horned. Detox juices cleanse your body. Is this a fact or myth? It's a myth. Detoxification doesn't work that way. Your internal organs are responsible for the process of cleansing: the spleen, liver, kidneys, especially the liver. Your body is always in a natural state of cleansing itself. A person doesn't need to drink juices for detoxification. Nuts are junk food. Any thoughts? Myth or fact? You're right, this is a myth. Nuts are full of healthy fats. They're good for your heart and other organs. The average American throws away about 82 pounds of textile waste per year. Is this a fact or myth? Fact! Imagine all that waste. When someone throws their clothes away, they don't disappear into thin air. These items most likely reach landfills as their final destination. Donating clothes and selling them in second-hand stores are a much better option. Now, you've probably heard about life-saving laundry tricks that are said to make your clothes super clean and as good as they were on day one. What if those laundry tips are actually myths? I got 3 of them lined up for you. Shirts should be buttoned when you put them in the laundry. Is it true or not? This is a myth. You'd better keep zippers closed to keep their teeth from catching the fabric of other clothes. But fastening the buttons of a shirt can expand the button net and the buttonhole. In the long term, buttons will start slipping out of place. Washing clothes in hot water is the most effective way to clean them. Is this a myth or fact? That's another laundry myth. You want to rid your clothes of germs, yet hot water alone won't be enough for this. Nowadays, many detergents can clean clothes in cold or warm water. You should remove stains from the face of the fabric. Is it true? Most people apply water and soap to the stain, starting from the front side of the fabric, but that's not the best option. A much better way is to start from the back. The stain can go deeper if you treat it from the front. Try to make the stain move up to the surface rather than push it inside. Listening to music is an effective tool for learning languages. Is it a myth or fact? It's a fact. Scientists say listening to a song and humming along can help you learn a language. Most people struggle to learn grammar, yet in our daily lives, we don't always follow grammar rules. Songs can help you pick up informal expressions. Scientists have also concluded that music can help you remember new words and add them to your vocabulary. Let me give you an example. It's from your first year at school. Yep, the alphabet song. Are you a morning person or a night owl? Either way, you might want to know these facts and myths about sleep. The longest someone went without sleep was 11 days. Do you think this is possible, or is it an urban legend? This is a fact. Randy Gardner set the record for the longest amount of time a person went without sleep. It was an experiment carried out by Stanford sleep researcher Dr. William C. Dement. The doctor recorded and monitored Randy Gardner's sleep activity. Gardner managed to stay awake for 11 days and 25 minutes. Your body eventually gets used to getting less sleep. Myth or fact? It's a myth. There are many studies proving that your body and especially your brain can't get used to sleeping less. Have you noticed that after a few nights of insufficient sleep, you begin to feel groggier during the day? That's your body trying to adjust to not getting enough rest. Long-term sleep deprivation affects your daytime performance, focus, and decision-making. Many grown-ups need 5 or fewer hours of sleep. Can it be true? Well, this one's easy. It's a myth. Experts from the National Sleep Foundation recommend that the average adult sleeps 7 to 9 hours per night. Some people have a genetic mutation thanks to which they wake up refreshed after a short night's sleep, but such people are an exception. 1 in 4 million. The ability to fall asleep in any place and at any time means you're a good sleeper. What do you think? Myth or fact? It's a myth. A good sleeper gets a proper amount of sleep and has a regular sleep schedule. Cats spend 2/3 of their life asleep. Do you believe that? This will probably come as no surprise. It's a fact. How many of the facts and myths did you guess correctly? If you're looking to remodel your kitchen but don't have the budget to replace the refrigerator, there might be a way you can still use your fridge, even if you have to move it to another location. Did you know that for most refrigerators, you can change the way you open their doors? These handles can be reversed on almost any refrigerator model. You just need to remove a few screws and bolts. It's best though if you keep track of the assembly order and the parts you've removed. As for the necessary tools, you only need a screwdriver, an adjustable wrench, pliers, and a ratchet set. There's an easy way to get the most out of your citrus fruit. And the tool you'll need for that is probably somewhere in your kitchen. Forget about expensive fruit juicers. No need to revert to the standard elbow grease. Next time you want to have some fresh lemon juice, just use a pair of kitchen tongs. Place the lemon or any other citrus fruit between the tongs and use the force of the tool to squeeze out all the juice in no time. Speaking of fruit, there's a great way to keep them fresh for longer, and it doesn't necessarily involve buying unripe bananas. Place them into an airtight container and put it in the fridge. The less air reaches the fruit, the longer they'll last. Then, how about delicate things, such as strawberries? They're a bit more difficult to clean due to their texture. Here's a neat way to make sure they're safe to eat. Take 3 cups of cold water and add a cup of vinegar. Put your strawberries in the mixture and gently move them around. After you drain and rinse the berries with cold tap water to remove the vinegar, pat them dry with a clean towel. Lastly, put them in a sealed container and store them in the fridge until you're ready to munch on them. I'm almost certain you've been using this one wrong your whole life, but I'm just as guilty as you are. Remember those neck pillows we often use when traveling? Turns out most of us tend to wear a pillow around the back of our neck and secure it at the front with a button. Well, some people say it feels a whole lot better if you flip your pillow. Why? Because with the gap located at the back of the neck, your head is still supported. But you'll relieve the pressure on your neck if your head starts falling from side to side as you fall asleep. Not to mention that your chin stays securely in place. You may have noticed some weird bumps on the concrete sidewalk, especially in crowded or high-traffic areas. This is called tactile paving. It was first used in Japan in the 1960s. Because of its efficiency, people started using it all over the world. These days, the system has developed into several types of paving for different kinds of situations. Blister paving, for example, is used at crosswalks. It's vital for people with visual impairment, warning them there's a road crossing ahead. In most cases, this paving consists of several rows of flat-topped blisters arranged in a square pattern. Then there's corduroy tactile paving, rounded bars running across the direction of pedestrian travel. It informs visually impaired people about some danger, like a set of stairs or a ramp. Sometimes, after a long day, there's nothing more comforting than leftovers for dinner. Unfortunately, being as tired as you are, you might forget to cover your plate of food with a paper towel. And then, your microwave is likely to become a total mess. Luckily, there's an easy way to clean it, and it doesn't involve special products. Prepare a mixture of half water, half lemon juice. Pour the liquid into a bowl and microwave it for about a minute. The acidity of the mixture should help with decreasing the walls of the microwave, and you'll be able to simply wipe off all the residues. Are you one of those people that like to experiment when baking and aren't a fan of measuring tools? You can just use a whisk next time you need to add some flour. Stick the whisk in the flour bag and it should pick up a considerable amount of the product between its metal bars. I don't think there's anything I love more than simple and fast tricks to make everyday chores easier. Like this one, about trash bags. I bet that just like me, you've been doing this one wrong all this time. Open a trash bag. You don't need to ruffle it open completely. Just the top of the bag will do. Place the edge of the trash bag over the edge of the trash can and secure it in place. Then, simply push the rest of the bag into the can. And it should flip over perfectly. I love a nice snack as much as the next guy. But pistachios can sometimes be a real pain to open. They can hurt your fingers or even break your nails. But did you know that you can literally use another pistachio to open a stubborn one? Layer the openings of the two pistachio pods so that they interlace. Then just pull them apart and they should both pop open. Deodorants tend to make a mess, especially on black clothes. But you don't need a fancy cleaning product to get rid of the stains. You won't even need to change your shirt if this happens. Just rub the stained area with another piece of fabric once the deodorant has had some time to dry. It should flake off pretty easily. Surely there's a pumice stone somewhere in your bathroom. You know that weird-looking piece of rock that you use to exfoliate your heels? There's a lot more you can do with it if you're creative enough. Turns out it's pretty great for removing pet hair off textile furniture. You can also use it for removing pills off fabric. You can always unclog your kitchen pipes with a homemade solution. It's just as effective as the store-bought and involves way fewer damaging chemicals. Pour some white vinegar into your kettle. Make sure you heat it up, but remember to open your kitchen window as the smell might get a bit overwhelming. Meanwhile, place some baking soda in the pipes you want to clean. Let it sit for a couple of minutes. Then, add the heated vinegar. The mixture should pop and fizzle quite spectacularly. But don't worry, that's exactly what's supposed to be happening. After the process has calmed down, open the taps and let some lukewarm water run for a minute or so. It should wash off all the residues that were clogging your pipes. Nice added bonus, take a look at the insides of your kettle. As clean as new. I'll admit, patience is not one of my best features, and I'm not very talented at opening jars either. But getting a rubber band and putting it around the edge of the lid works every time. It gives me a solid, non-slip grip and something to hold on to whenever I stumble upon one of those stubborn jars. But if that doesn't work, I place the jar in hot water. The heat causes the metal to expand, making it easy to break the seal. You know how hard it is to hang things on your walls, especially when it comes to items that require multiple holes. But here's a neat trick. Take a piece of tape and spread it over the object you want to put on the wall. It can be a painting or maybe even an extension cord. Mark the spots where the holes are supposed to be on the tape. Then take the tape and place it on the wall. Now you'll know exactly how far apart the nails need to go.
Did you know zippers have locks? Or that food containers have been designed to make your life so much easier? If only you knew how to use them properly. Well, get ready to find out the secrets behind everyday items you have certainly been taking for granted. Some airplanes have wings with upturned ends. But why? When a plane is soaring through the sky, air begins to spiral around the tips of the wings. This can cause something called drag. This means that the airplane has to work harder to move forward as the drag acts as resistance. The upturned ends, or winglets, reduce the amount of drag the plane experiences. This makes for a smoother, more efficient ride and improves the aircraft's stability. Many countries around the world have started to explore wind as a way to generate electricity. This involves using large turbines. These giant machines have massive blades which catch the wind. This makes them spin, generating power that can be added to the electrical grid. You may think those blades have smooth edges, like you would find on a fan, but they're not. They're actually covered in little pointy teeth called serrations, similar to what you would see on a saw. People living near wind turbines will appreciate these serrations. They not only reduce the noise as the blades spin, making them much quieter, but also reduce how far that noise will travel. Now, I'll bet you have a blender, and I'll also bet you use it incorrectly. When making a smoothie, for example, do you cram in all those healthy fruits and veggies and then cover them with your preferred liquid? Then you turn the device on, and it whines, struggles, and sounds like it might blow a fuse. Well, you are supposed to add all the liquids first. Then you can add the solids. The blades don't have to struggle as much to spin through the liquid. This creates a whirlpool effect, and the device is able to pull the solid food down and blend everything evenly. Your next smoothie will have fewer chunks. Yes, you are welcome. I know that with online banking, you are handling fewer checks. But next time you see one, take a close-up look at the signature lines on the front and back. No, closer than that. I think you might need to grab a magnifying glass. Those lines are really teeny tiny words. Called microprinting, they make it harder for people to print fake checks. This will be indicated on the check with the letters MP, often near where the signature goes. The words that make up these lines can be anything from authorized signature to original document. Most printers are unable to reproduce the microprinting, making it easier to detect a fake check. Hand sanitizer is everywhere these days. Yep, nothing gets past me. And though it's great at keeping your fingers free of germs, it's actually much more useful than you think. Some of us have made the mistake of using a permanent marker on a whiteboard. Guess what? It doesn't come off. But grab your hand sanitizer and it can lift that stubborn mark. It can also help with cleaning windows, sunglasses, and mirrors. Do you have a magic key fob for your car? Most fobs are designed to lock and unlock your car doors. Some even allow you to start your car from a distance. But there's one feature some fobs have that you would never know unless you read the manual. And who has time for that? To see if you have a special fob, hold down the unlock button for a whole 2 seconds. For some car brands, this will open the windows of your car. This allows you to access your car if there's ever an issue with the door locks or to let out hot air on a summer day. You might have noticed a hole along the side of the shaft or barrel of some ballpoint pens. This is designed to handle pressure. The hole ensures that the internal and external pressure is the same, which allows the ink to flow freely into the tip. If these pressures were different, the ink could become stuck inside, making the pen useless. Another hole you might see is at the very top of a pen's cap. This is a new development, with companies adding it in 1991. First, it helps keep the ink from drying out. Yay! Second, it ensures that if you accidentally swallow it, the cap will not completely block your airway. You'll still be able to breathe while seeking help. Double yay! But maybe think about stop putting caps in your mouth in the first place. Speaking of holes, some shoes are designed with 2 extra holes, or eyelets. They're located near the arch just above the sole of the shoe. Everyone assumes they're there to help your feet breathe and keep sweating, and the resulting smelliness to a minimum. But you're actually supposed to use them when lacing up. They allow you to get a tighter, better fit and reduce the chances of spraining your ankle. Some people prefer to drink soda from a glass bottle, arguing that it tastes better. Whether or not this is true, the bottle does have a unique design feature that most people completely ignore. It's that long, tapered neck. Heat transfers from the hand. If you hold the bottle around the thicker body, you are warming the contents inside. Warm cola? No thanks. You should be holding on to the long neck instead. This way, your drink will stay colder longer. Hungry? Who doesn't like some delicious Chinese takeout? Here's a shocker. Those sturdy containers the food comes in can actually be turned into plates. First, grab the creases on the sides of the packaging. Slowly pull these apart. Push the corners down to flatten the box. This is ideal for rice and noodle dishes, but not so good for soup. Another surprise? Chinese takeout containers were not invented in China. They were created in 1894 by Frederick Weeks Wilcox, a man from Chicago. He called his creation a paper pail and was inspired by Japanese origami when he designed them. As Chinese food gained in popularity in America, these paper pails were used for delivery and takeout, and eventually became associated with this particular style of cuisine. Now, when it comes to dessert, or breakfast, or both actually, a popular choice is a donut. But people often wonder about the hole in the center. Wait, another hole? You bet! Although it's hard to know who exactly invented the hole in a donut, some stories give credit to a sailor named Hanson Gregory. It was 1847, and Hanson was only 16 years old. At the time, he was working on a lime trading ship. The deep-fried cakes served on board were nice and crispy on the outside, but undercooked and doughy on the inside. He suggested adding a hole in the middle, which would allow the batter to cook evenly. The modern donut was born. Hanson is now my personal hero. Of course, with all that food, it'll make doing up your pants a little harder. Luckily, most zippers now have locks. A locking mechanism, which often looks like a little pin or bump, was added to help keep the zipper done up. When you position the pull tab flat along the teeth, the pin hooks in place and the zipper can't move. When you lift the tab, it becomes unlocked and you can easily open and close it. Now, why are the letters on the computer keyboard in such random order? This feature dates back to when manual typewriters were used. Initially, the keys were placed in alphabetical order, but this way, people were able to type too quickly for the machine to handle. Levers associated with certain letters would often get jammed together. The QWERTY keyboard, which is the one we still use today, was designed to slow people down and reduce the chance of hitting two keys that might jam. The QWERTY keyboard may no longer be essential, but we have become used to it. Now, feel the F and J keys on your computer. Each of these has a little bump on it. These are known as homing bars, and the F and J are called position keys. They were designed to help you properly place your hand when typing without having to look down at them. This allows for touch typing, when you use your muscle memory to remember where each key was. For it to work, you have to put your fingers in a specific position before starting. This means ASDF for the left hand and JKL for the right hand. This is especially useful if you have to transcribe something for your job. You can read the original and type it out without slowing down to look at your keyboard. Even the human body has its own little secrets hiding in plain sight. On your fingers, at the base of each nail, there's something called a cuticle. Many people think it is just a bit of extra skin, and they cut or trim it, often when getting a manicure. But the cuticle is there to protect the nail from becoming infected by bacteria or fungus. By removing it, you are leaving your fingernails exposed. If you really want the look of a longer nail, you can gently push the cuticle back towards the base of the nail. It can still do its job, and you can still get that funky nail art you always wanted.
Here's how you can protect your bank card from potential fraudsters. Use a marker and cover the last 4 digits. You can also use a sticker that's easy to remove and place it over the security code. Have you had a house guest that didn't use a coaster? Get a hairdryer and hold it a couple of inches away from the stain. Blow it on medium heat for a couple of minutes to evaporate the watermark. If a faded ring remains, mix equal amounts of vinegar and olive oil in a bowl. Wipe it onto the marked area and rub it in until the stain disappears. Then wipe it off. Don't waste time scrubbing the burnt stains off the bottom of a pan. Instead, fill it with water and add 3 tablespoons of salt. Let it sit overnight as the salt dissolves the burnt marks, and in the morning, pour the water out of the pan. This way, it will be much easier to scrub all that grease off. Picture this. You're on vacation and your shirt has become all crinkled inside the luggage. You need it tonight, but the hotel doesn't have an iron. Don't panic. Hang the shirt up in the bathroom, and while you relax in a hot shower, the heat and moisture will unwrinkle your shirt. It won't be perfect, but it will get much better without any effort. The football is on, and it turns out you've run out of standard batteries. You can use a smaller battery instead that easily fits inside. Now take some aluminum foil and crunch it up. Fit it into the gap on the negative or flat end of the battery. All done! You can turn on the TV now. Once your flip-flops crack and the plug easily slips out of the hole, it's normally a sign that you need a new pair. But there's a way to extend their mileage. Push the plug back through the hole, then take a bread clip and attach it to the end. The clip will provide enough support for the plug to remain in place. You've received a package and the receipt is taped on. You've managed to detach it from the box. But how to separate the tape without ripping the paper? Hold both ends of the tape apart, and by pulling it slowly, the tape stretches and separates itself from the paper without tearing it apart. Ziploc bags are perfect to keep things dry, but it would be great if they were larger. Take 2 and turn one of them inside out. They can now connect and work as one large bag, big enough to protect a keyboard. There's no need to carry your keys in your hand when you go for a jog. Instead, put them inside your pocket, take a rubber band, then tie it around the pocket from the inside. This stops the keys from falling out. You've broken your key in the door. It's stuck. Great. Arranging for a locksmith could cost up to $100, but for a cheaper and quicker option, try using a hot glue stick. Heat the end with a lighter, and once it's warm enough to melt, push the glue into the keyhole. The melted glue will enter the available space, covering part of the key. Once it cools, it compresses and gains a strong hold of the key's end. Now, just pull it out. If you need to siphon liquid through a hose and want to avoid using your mouth, put one end in the liquid and hold the other upwards with your thumb closing the top. Now shake up and down. This jiggle motion pushes liquid upwards, a little each time. And once it reaches the top, lower the exit point and let gravity do the rest. You've left your keys locked inside the car. It's an older model with a roll-down window. You could get the coat hanger and begin the long process of finding the lock. Or use duct tape. Make about 20 2-foot-long strands. Stick them onto the window, allowing enough room for the tape to grab onto at the bottom. Then with a friend, take the ends of the tape, holding them together, and pull downwards. The force will allow the window to lower enough that you can unlock the door. While drilling long screws into hardwood, your old drill might not have enough power, leaving them only halfway in. Before the drill gives up, Get a block of wax and scrape the edges of the screws with it. The wax works like a lubricant, melting as it gets warm and providing easy entry for the screw. You're out camping, but you didn't bring anything to light the barbecue. Take a small plastic bag that won't leak, fill it up with water, and close it tight, making a round bubble. Hold it over where you want to catch the light from the sun. The bag of water will work like a magnifying glass, starting up the barbecue, just as long as it's a sunny day. Missing a corkscrew or a cork breaking halfway? By using a stove lighter, heat the top of the bottle. The heat slightly expands the glass, and this forces the cork out the top. You've superglued your fingers again. Take some salt and pour it on top of your stuck fingers. Put your fingers into the water and slowly rub. The mixture will dissolve the glue and release you in no time. While hanging up a painting, it can be impossible to find that stubborn nail. Place a fork upside down and insert it so the nail is in between the middle fork teeth. The fork has provided a long arm that's separated from the wall, making it easier to slip the string of the painting over the nail. Once it's perfectly balanced, simply remove the fork. You need to put a cake into a container, but taking it out again later by lifting it up from the inside might ruin the cake. Put the lid upside down and place the cake on the lid. The base of the container is now the lid, making it much easier to access, slice by slice. Pour out water more efficiently from large jugs and bottles by swirling. This will make the liquid inside spin, creating a vortex. The vortex allows for the air to flow back into the bottle as the water pours out, much faster than the glugging alternative. There's an easier and less messy way to remove eggshells from a boiled egg. Once fully boiled, crack the shell on both ends by tapping them. On one end, pinch off the shell. Use the opened end to blow with your mouth. The force of air will push the flesh and expand the eggshell, forcing out the egg undamaged. When the hinges of your laptop break, repairing them can cost up to $300. A far cheaper fix is to buy a picture frame and tape it to the back of the screen. You've dropped a small piece of jewelry on the floor, seemingly impossible to find. Take a stocking and place it over the end of the vacuum hose. Give the area a good vacuum and check the end periodically. You will eventually find it sitting at the end. You've drilled a hole in the wall, but the drill hole is now too wide. Remove the screw and find an object that is slightly shorter and thinner. Pieces of plastic, small wires, paper clips, or even toothpicks are perfect. Place whichever item you find inside the hole. It's filled the gap enough so the screw will now re-enter securely. Taking the trash out can put you in a gross scenario of getting bin juice on you. A great way to avoid this is by placing old papers at the bottom of the bag. Now, not only does it absorb all the liquids from the food and other sources, but also helps prevent bad smells from forming within a bin. Nobody likes mosquitoes, and pesticides are pricey. A cheap alternative is to take a plastic bottle and cut the top part off from the bottom of the funnel. After removing it, turn it upside down and put it inside the bottle. Mix 2 cups of warm water with 2 tablespoons of sugar. The mosquitoes will be attracted to the formula inside and become trapped. Now just sit back and relax without getting bitten.